Well, welcome back. It must be Tuesday. And today we're going to talk about design and Jaguar. The two words should be synonymous. There's a whole lot of really famous designers in the history of the automobile. Some of the best were like Harley Earl or Ferdinand Porsche or Giugiaro Giugiaro. But my favorite, of course, is Malcolm Sayer. He's the one that designed the XKE. When they introduced this car at Earl's Court in 1961, it was hailed by Enzo Ferrari as the most beautiful car ever built. Enzo Ferrari, the most beautiful car ever built. What was he doing? Anyway, this is a fantastic automobile. I love them personally. You can't see it, but my personal E-Type's sitting over there. And they're fun to drive. They're iconic in design. And when you can't drive it, you can just sit there and look at it all day long. It's a marvelous thing. The other person I need to thank about this particular car is A.J. McCrae. A.J. McCrae was a very extremely wealthy New Yorker who ordered this car new from Jaguar USA in New York, and he took European delivery, meaning he went to the factory and he picked up the car. The car was delivered to him in September of 1963, from which he took an extended business / holiday over the next year and a half almost. At the end of that time, the car, not Mr. McCrae, was delivered back to the factory. It was the result of what was later termed enthusiastic driving. Basically, he blew it up. Well, they took it to the factory went through it. They're saying, okay, we just have to replace this engine. That's all there is to it. So they removed the 3.8 liter that it was born with, and they replaced it with a 4.2 liter. Why? Well, because they didn't have any more 3.8 liters. They were making 4.2s. So this car has an unnumbered 4.2 liter 6-cylinder 3-carb engine installed by the factory, at the factory. And that's its motor history. So you can call it a numbers matching with explanation, I guess. This is one of the cars that we restored here. I don't know if you knew that. Besides the Branson Collector Car Auction, we also have Branson Collector Cars. That's a big shop. Jack Martin is the head of it. And besides repairing and taking care of people, servicing people's cars from all over the country, we also restore cars. We were able to get in about 2 a year. I wish we could do more, but I'd have to build more buildings. So this is one of our restorations, Mr. McCrae's 1963 E-Type OTS. Did you ever wonder what that meant, OTS? That means open two-seater. That's, you know, for the aficionados that have to use acronyms instead of saying it's a convertible, roadster, whatever. They're fantastic cars. In total, I think total production from 1961 to the last one in 1974, there were less than or just over 38,000 cars built, okay? So in 1961, it was what they call a flat floor, okay? Covered headlight. Back then they had outside bonnet latches. That was different for cars at the time. There was just it was crude by the standard that this car came up with 2 years later in 1963, or what that car in 1971 had. My car is very, very unique because in 1971, it got something that they gave to the 1971 V12 E-Type Jaguar. It got power steering. Makes it a beautiful drive. I just love driving that car, primarily because of the power steering. Also has air, which is funny for a convertible. The D-Type success in 1955, 6, and 7 at the 24 Hours of Le Mans was absolutely fantastic for the history of Jaguar. But later on, they decided to build 16 XKE lightweights, and I mean these were lightweights. Aluminum panels, special aerodynamics. They took out everything that was unnecessary, and they made a Jaguar XKE lightweight. But they didn't make 16 of them. They ended up only making 12. Until just 3 years ago, I believe in 2014, they decided to make the other 4. And they have made them now, and they have all been sold, and they were all sold for $1 million for a Jaguar XKE lightweight built by the factory. Well, you say $1 million, God, that's an awful lot of money. Not really. There was an XKE lightweight sold at auction for over $7 million. Who knows about the collector car world and the prices? It drives me nuts. But in the meantime, we have this beautiful ride. This is opalescent dark green with a beige interior and a French gray top. During the restoration process, one of the most difficult things we had was finding French gray fabric. And of course, where else would you find it? But yeah, in France. So there it is. It's lovely, it's beautiful, and it just got sold. It would be impolite for me to explain the pricing to you. But it fetched a very good number, and the new owner is very happy with the car, as we are. So you should know that we have this shop, Branson Collector Cars. We've got 6 technicians in there, plus a parts man, plus Jack, who runs everything. And if your car needs repair, or if your car just needs service and you don't necessarily know how to do it and you want to take care of it, you want to keep it up, or if you would like to have a car completely restored, please give us a call. That number is different than Branson Auction. The number at the shop is 417-336-1155. And talk to Jack Martin. This is his work. Pretty good.